By Morgan CampbellSports ReporterSat, May 19, 2018. In the second round of a sloppy heavyweight brawl, Niagara-based Albanian Kristian Prenga drove paunchy Argentine Ricardo Ramirez to the canvas with right hand that looked more like a push than a punch. The knockdown blow energized a cluster of Prenga fans who had unfurled a massive Albanian flag in the Air Canada Centre's lower bowl, and more cheers came from pro-Prenga factions elsewhere. Kristian Prenga connects with an overhand right in Saturday night's victory over Ricardo Ramirez at the Air Canada Centre, on the undercard of the world heavyweight title fight between Adonis Stevenson and Padu Jack, Steve Russell, Toronto Star. That the bout ended with Ramirez quitting from exhaustion midway through the third didn't matter to the 800er Prenga partisans present. They didn't buy tickets to see a high-stakes main event between WBC light heavyweight champ Adonis Stevenson and challenger Padu Jack. They paid to watch the biggest single ticket seller on Ontario's pro boxing scene, even if he was facing a pudgy 37-year-old. Prenga has emerged as the biggest single ticket seller in Ontario's resurgent pro boxing scene, but not because he's a 6'6" heavyweight with world championship ambition. He fills seats by engaging and mobilizing Southern Ontario's Albanian community, and converting their allegiance into sales. Last June, roughly 1,500 Prenga fans attended his Canadian debut in Niagara Falls. By December, when Prenga fought on the undercard of a Canadian heavyweight title bout, his supporters group swelled to nearly 2,000. In March, the last-minute cancellations of two headline bouts at a downtown Toronto card left hundreds of customers furious, but the 1,500 or so Albanian flag-toting Prenga fans present were too busy celebrating to notice the card had been cut short. Prenga, who moved his training base to Southern Ontario at the suggestion of former heavyweight champ Lennox Lewis, didn't realize he would inherit such a passionate fan base. "I never thought I was going to have this much support," said Prenga, now 8-1 as a pro. "When I have this many people following me, I feel like I'm a world champ already." His trainer, Chris Johnson, acknowledges Prenga is a long way from facing heavyweight stars such as Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. He points out that, 2 years after switching from kickboxing to boxing, Prenga is still learning the sport's subtle skills. He works very hard, and once they have work ethic there's no telling how far they can go, Johnson said. But Prenga's kickboxing background helped build his profile in his native Albania, and his manager, Ben Peppa, says fans back home still follow his career. Over here, sports fans in the Albanian community watch even more closely. Peppa, who often assumes the role of chief ticket vendor for Prenga's bouts, says fans often drive in from New York State and Michigan. "The Albanian community is a big community in Toronto," Peppa said. "We're proud of him. Albanians are proud of our athletes." Peppa invited Canada's most famous Albanian-descended athlete, former Maple Leafs enforcer Ty Domi, to Saturday's fight, but wasn't sure the retired hockey star would return to Toronto in time to attend. Either way, Prenga figured to boost gate revenue for a high-stakes fight card that lacked a natural meal ticket. WBC champ Stevenson lives near Montreal, while challenger Jack is a Swede who trains in Las Vegas. The event's lead promoter, Lee Baxter, said Prenga attracted about 800 paying spectators to the ACC, which was set up to seat 6,000 people. "This show is going to sell itself," Baxter said at Friday's weigh-in. "It'll do numbers whether Kristian Prenga's on it or not." After 2 rounds of messy brawling, Prenga landed a hook to Ramirez's ribs that dropped the Argentine to a knee. When action resumed, Prenga cocked his right hand, but Ramirez surrendered before he threw it. Some fans booed the underwhelming ending, but Prenga's cheering section had already erupted, and the fighter stood on the second rope with arms raised, saluting them. Sports action and reaction delivered to your inbox. New NEWSLETTERSPORTSIGN up.